Yeah, so you're very welcome to the LGFA talk show, a different LGFA talk show, a talk show with a difference. This evening as we're recording, I'm joined by Mike Mansfield from Jigsaw Youth Mental Health and Ciara Sheehan, also from Lidl Ireland. Guys, many thanks for taking the call. Extraordinary times, it's fair to say. Mike, I might just start with you, and you might just give our viewers and listeners a brief overview of what you do in your role with Jigsaw.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, Jackie. Good evening. Thanks for having us on. Wow. What did I do and what do I do for a very different base in the times that we're in? My official title is Director of Communications and Fundraising in Jigsaw, and as many of your listeners will know, Jigsaw's the country's largest youth mental health organization. So we support young people and their parents, their moms and dads. They're, as well as their educators, their coaches, their sort of support unit around them. We do that in a number of different ways, primarily through offering direct one-to-one services with young people who are going through a tough time. Okay. We've got locations right across the country, from Donegal down to Cork and Galway across to Dublin and everywhere in between. So I suppose from kind of up to March 11th, that was the story. I think since then, and since all of this current situation has kicked off, really what we've done is we've effectively reimagined our entire organization, and since then, since literally kind of 3 months into the day, we're continuing to offer those supports, but in a different way, and doing a lot of what we're doing this evening, which is trying as best we can to maintain the supports that we have developed over the last 16 years, and trying to do it in a different way, but continuing to maintain as much value and as much support as we can during these tough times.
Okay, originally from Ballinasloe, Mike.
That's right. The I was going to say the hurling heartland of Galway, but I'm not so sure. I togged out. Football was my game, Jackie. Football. I was a goalkeeper extraordinaire. I might have got, now don't get your listeners to go googling this. I might have got a run out for the Galway Miners back in 93 or something, but
very
it was short-lived. I hung up my contact lenses, as my mates always say to me, at some stage soon after.
I'm on the mobile here as well, Mike. I might have a quick Google. No, we'll spare you on that one, Mike.
Please.
Ciara, I'll bring you in on this one. Ciara Sheehan from Lidl.
Yeah.
Ciara, CSR is your primary concern in Lidl. Just tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about what that entails.
Yes, certainly. So I suppose our CSR strategy, or for people who don't know what it is, corporate social responsibility, is all about taking our responsibility in society and supporting the local communities, protecting our environments, responsible sourcing. It's quite broad and extremely interesting, and it's something I'm really passionate about, and I really love working in Lidl and on such an interesting topic. Yeah.
So I'm sure these are challenging times right across the board. How has the business reacted to what's happening, Ciara?
Yeah, so certainly these are worrying times for many. And I have to say, I've been really proud how we've all come together and responded. You know, we have a vital role to play supporting our communities at the moment.
Absolutely.
And we're working hard and together to maintain our stores, availability of products, but at the same time, prioritizing those who might be feeling a bit more vulnerable in society at the moment. And we, during the week, introduced elderly shopping hours. We've just today announced priority queuing for healthcare workers. And we've also introduced, packing benches. So at our packing benches now, shoppers who want to buy 1 or 2 extra items, we donate it to local communities in need through our Food Cloud, our other partner that we work with. Yeah.
Okay, well done. No, it's all very, very good and very, very positive. And we've seen the messages coming out on social media, and it's very much to be applauded. Leads me nicely on to One Good Club and the reason that we're here this evening, folks. We were all set to almost press play on this project. We were about to announce the clubs from the 26 counties who were selected to participate in the One Good Club program. Mike, I might come to you on this one. We had announced it obviously at the National League launch earlier in the year, and there was a phenomenal response from people and huge volume of nominations. The 5 key messages within, maybe just touch upon probably first of all the overall rollout of the scheme and how that will take place, because we're sure we're going to do it, and those 5 key messages that people are most interested in as well.
Yeah, so One Good Club really was kind of born probably in around this time last year, Ciara, wasn't it? I think it was around that time where there was a couple of conversations with ourselves and Lidl, and also with the LGFA and Lidl, kind of simultaneous but separate, around, is there something that we can do collectively? So really the 3 of us got in a room over a couple of sessions, and what came out of that was the concept of One Good Club, where it was really about trying to bring the 3 partners together in a way that added real value to kind of what all 3 of us were in this for. So adding value to communities, supporting clubs, their players, their coaches, and really trying to look at the kind of the mental health culture right across the community is a really core idea of what we're about in Jigsaw. And so we kicked off a pilot last summer where we began to introduce the core concept, which was very much around embedding the idea of the 5 a day for your mental health. So the 5 a day for your mental health is something that is a core message of ourselves in Jigsaw. And often people think of the 5 a day and they think about broccoli and veg and cauliflower, but for ourselves there's 5 simple, relatively simple, straightforward things that people can do in their everyday life that is proven to have a positive outcome on their mental health. And those 5 are around activity, so being active. The second one is around connection, is around connecting with people and reaching out and talking and sharing and communicating. The third one is around taking notice. That's just taking notice of yourself and taking notice of others around you, and giving yourself the time and space and the license to invest a little bit of time in yourself. The fourth one is around learning, and about always be looking for new things and experiencing new things, and kind of pushing yourself on a daily basis. And the last one is around give, which is about giving your time, it's giving your expertise, your advice. Some of it's linked into maybe giving a donation to certain things. So they're the 5 simple things that really around which we built the One Good Club concept. We ran it initially, as I said, as a pilot last summer, and the response was like huge. It came in waves from club secretaries right down to the kids who were on the pitches. It was really positively received. Really simple. We really kind of handed over the keys to the clubs themselves. We kind of put a bit of a structure, as I said, and said, lads, this is yours to develop. And each of the clubs from Donegal down to Cork and Roscommon and Dublin really got behind it over 4 weeks, came back and said, this has to go national. And then from there we continue to talk, and as you were saying, Jackie, we were due to bring all the selected clubs, the 26 county champions, together on the 21st of March in Crow Park. It was going to be a big day in our calendar. That obviously got paused. The word is paused.
Absolutely.
One good club 100% will happen, because it has to happen, because it's important. It's important for our 3 organizations, but more than that, it's important for the clubs, and it's important for the communities. Clubs need and communities need help, and the One Good Club was very much going to deliver that, and it will. And I think ourselves and Jigsaw, and certainly Ciara, jump in, but I think in Lidl again, and yourselves, Jackie, and all involved in the LGFA are 100% committed to it, and it will happen.
Yeah, good. Ciara, I'm sure you'll echo those sentiments as well.
Yeah, and actually just one thing about the pilot that really stood out for me is that it doesn't matter what size your club is or how big your club is. Every single club was able to adapt to it or take a different piece from it and make it to suit their own. And even one of our smallest clubs taking part last year managed to be out on the streets in the community, giving flowers, cleaning streets. Like it was absolutely amazing. And like that was something that really stood out to me last year. I was just like, wow, like we have to get this up and national. Like this works, and it's really powerful.
Yeah,
when we spoke to the guys in Kinsale, I think it was really interesting. Again, it was very much about giving them the structure and saying, look, enact, let this manifest itself in whatever way you can. And some of the clubs literally got some of the younger players to visit their local nursing home, to give a little bit of their time to bring us, and it was just the reaction across everybody, from the kids themselves to the club, secretaries, also to the people in the nursing home. Everybody got a value. The other guys down in Kinsale literally got dozens of roses and just went around the town, stopping people and saying, "Here you go. We're just passing on a message of just be nice to each other," and just a general message around kindness and the value of that, particularly in today's society, which is just so manic and so crazy. The anecdotal feedback, but also we kind of put a structure on this around evaluating the impact of it, was again and again hugely positive for everybody involved. So it was great, really good.
Yeah, and Mike, I suppose those 5 key messages that you spoke about, so relevant at this present time as well, particularly the mindfulness piece, and to be aware of how you are at any given time. But when this passes, and please God it will pass, this program has the ability to make a phenomenal impact in those 26 clubs and communities, particularly given what people are going through at the moment, and what they'll have come through when eventually we get to roll out.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. This current situation it's uncertain. So it's uncertain from a number of different angles. The health bit, the when are we back to normality? So there's a huge amount of uncertainty thrown up for a huge amount of people, and often what we hear from, what we would have heard always post COVID was, we would have got a lot of young people coming to us with anxiety and fears around uncertainty, lots of different levels of uncertainty, and so while there is a huge amount of uncertainty, what's absolutely clear is there's going to be a fairly large fallout from a mental health point of view, got to do with COVID, as there is, right now we're still in that kind of health emergency. And I think over the coming weeks, that's going to evolve into a financial situation, into an economic situation, into the impacts on culture and society. And definitely within that is what is going to be the medium and long-term impact on young people's mental health. So I think certainly Jigsaw will have a very large role to play in society post all of this, and absolutely 100%, as will One Good Club. One Good Club was something that probably 6 months ago was a really nice to have for a club and a really value add. I think now it's probably moved into a kind of a must have, and I think definitely our desire among all 3 parties was, it would be fantastic if, given resources, we could roll this out really, really widely, and certainly outside of the 26 county champions that are going to be involved in this later in the year. I think there's a huge amount of residual value that we can offer to all LGFA clubs and communities across the country.
Super, Ciara. I like to think of this piece as maybe a culmination, or just another block on or a step on the road in the LGFA Lidl partnership, in that you'll recall the piece of research that was done a few years ago around the teen dropout and the reasons behind that. A powerful piece of research. I just think this has brought this piece, the One Good Club, and the Serious Support Program as well, has just brought things to a whole new level. Ciara, what are your thoughts on where we are and how this partnership has evolved over the last, we're in the 5th year of partnership now?
No, it's truly incredible. Something for me that I think is just so nice about the partnership is both yourselves and Jigsaw are really, really strong partners, and it was nearly a natural fit to create One Good Club, looking at the wide breadth of research and information that Jigsaw have, and then yourselves with over 1,000 clubs across the country, literally embedded in every community. Like, this kind of grassroots level program is exactly what we need, and where our partnerships and the level we're at. And I think something quite unique about this program in particular is the 5 themes and the way that the program's set up to empower clubs to collaborate and be creative enables them to then make it a part of that club culture. So maybe going forward, everyone's going to take a minute of mindfulness before every single match or after every single match, and that it enables people and clubs and communities to just embed this into everyday club life, community life. And I think that's something that's really nice. And I look forward to seeing that when we roll it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
yes, Mike.
One of the challenges around kind of introducing a program like this is there's been a huge amount of stigma around mental health over look at a long period of time in Irish culture, and that's getting better, 100% getting better. But a lot of the narrative, kind of probably over the last decade, has been around, you know, it's okay to be not to be okay, and talk, you know, just talk, and just talk, and that's all well and good. But how then do you take that into a club, for example, which, you know, I think we were Castlelock was one of the clubs that was involved. It's got like thousands of members, direct and indirect. So they've got a really, and from the smallest up to the biggest, but they have a very important role to play in the communities because they involve parents and adults and grannies and mums and kids and, you know, coaches and a huge array of it. But if we just went in there and said, lads, here's a leaflet on, you know, it's okay not to be okay, and get the kids to talk, like, it's all well and good, but actually what this gives them is it gives them an infrastructure around which they can still absolutely create whatever way they want to, but at least they've got something tangible that they can begin to bring that actually moves it away from a little bit of, because certainly what we hear from young people that we deal with is, you know, I know it's okay to talk and I know it's okay not to be okay, but I'm still not okay. So, you know, I need more than that. Kind of, we need to move beyond that. We need to start to do stuff as opposed to talking about doing stuff. And I think what One Good Club does, and what it will do, is it actually it empowers clubs to at least have a bit of structure around which they can really make it their own and add a huge amount of value. And certainly you talk to Kinsale, you talk to St. Ewan's, you talk to the guys in Roscommon Gales and in Castlelock, and they say it bang on added value to what they were doing. So yeah, very exciting stuff.
Yeah, great to see it mirrored in the 6 counties as well, Mike, with the Talk project rolled out by the NI Youth Forum as well. So we look forward to developments there also. Mike, can I just touch on perhaps our young members at the moment and those that are A, without football, but B as well, looking forward, or we're looking forward to exams and are, you know, online with their teachers at the moment, and maybe there's that bit of uncertainty around when the exams might be held or in what format they will be held. It's a very uncertain time. We've been teenagers. It was a while ago for me anyway, but these are fresh and very, very real challenges for our young people right now.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's incredibly tough, because what this current situation does is it actually takes away a huge amount of the positive ingredients for positive mental health. It takes away that idea of connection. So even if you look what we're talking about the 5 a day for your mental health, a huge amount of that is around the collective, is around, you know, connecting with people, being active with people, taking notice, getting out, all this sort of stuff. And what this sort of confined situation does is it sort of narrows our world a little bit, which just for everybody, and it probably isn't any consolation to any of your younger listeners, but we're all in this together. And certainly I think what's certainly going to help is a collective response to it. I mean, on a kind of a practical kind of a note, I mean, the first thing to do is, there is a vast amount of information circulating online around, you know, whether you call it COVID or coronavirus. So the very first practical piece that we would always say to young people is, choose what you read and do it short. So if you find that you've got extra time in your hands, just honestly, you know, just do not read multiple news items around it, different opinions, what's happening in China, what's happening here. I read about some doctor said X, Y, and Z. Choose one source of trusted media. So choose one that, be it RTE, be it something, be it, there's lots of different ones. And that's what I'm going to read, and that's what I'm going to listen to, because look, at everybody has an interest in this, and it's important that we keep abreast. And also in terms of, if you are finding it tough from a mental health point of view, there are a huge amount of resources currently available. And certainly with ourselves, we have We have a really broad range of information, of advice, of services and supports through our Jigsaw Online.ie platform. So certainly would really encourage young people to get on there. There's an opportunity for them to converse with us and to talk to us. We have a free phone number opening up next week. There's group chats available. There's anonymous live chat. So there's a huge amount that just ourselves and Jigsaw are offering. Likewise, our colleagues in the HSC, likewise the guys in, SOAR, Lust for Life, all the mental health organisations that were once involved at threshold of some description, they're now available to you. So make use of as you said from the outset, Jackie, this too shall pass, and it will pass, and we will get through it together. So catastrophizing the whole situation, it isn't going to add any value. Take a couple of deep breaths. It's uncertain for all of us. Do what you can, control what you can, and just be aware that it's a very uncontrollable situation, but bear with it. Take one day at a time. As I said, it too will pass. And all this stuff about exams and whether there's a leaving cert or whether there isn't, just wait. Trying to second guess, there's very little value in that. The thing is, the decisions will be made based on the best advice that's available to them. Alternatives we put in place by the best people who will make the best decisions. And until that point, keep the head down, do what you're doing. And if you need support of mental health, seek out trusted, reliable sources, and jigsawonline.ie is absolutely one of those.
Brilliant, Mike. Ciara, just from a Lidl perspective and the ambassadors that were on board to launch the program, some of our elite players, brilliant speakers, super role models, maybe the role and the impact that they can have when this program is rolled out, and in terms of their profile, how they carry themselves, and as faces for both ourselves and yourselves, and also on behalf of Jigsaw as well.
Yeah, certainly. I think even the launch really showed the girls are fantastic. They really relate to the program. They really relate to, sure, they're all young themselves anyway, so they can really relate to what it was like when you were young. They can relate to what it's like being now. I think what's really nice about all of them as well is they're kind of a perfect mix between knowing what it was like as a young person, but also knowing what it's like as a role model. And I think they all portray that so well. They're excellent leaders and excellent examples. And even I myself, I found at the launch, I was fascinated listening to them. I was really engaged, and I really think that younger people right now should be looking up to them anyway, even if the program hasn't fully rolled out, that they're really, really strong role models in society at the moment. And yeah, we certainly are looking to do a bit of work, especially around at the moment with ourselves and Jigsaw, to get their message out there as well a bit and share what they're doing right now.
Yeah, we look forward to that. I mean, Carla Rose also in the Series Support Athlete Mentor Program as well.
Yeah.
Ciara, Mike, you might you'll know of Emer Gallagher from Donegal. She's a teacher. She's actually given grinds to some of our Donegal teammates. It's incredible stuff. Kiva McGrath down in Waterford has also worked with the GA down in Waterford in terms of mental health as well. And Nicola Ward from Galway has her own particular story right now. She's coming back from a series of serious injuries, the latest one which forced her off in the All-Ireland Club final last year. So they've all had their own various challenges as well, and they're well placed to deliver the messages on behalf of you guys, and again to our young members. I'm just conscious of the clock, folks. Maybe just to finish on a positive, we've had a lot of serious chat, and I guess we're right in the middle of what's going on right now. Mike, I liked what you said earlier on. This will happen. We don't know when it will happen, but it will happen. So you must be looking forward immensely to the rollout and to getting stuck into delivering this content.
Yeah, it will, and all indications from the best sources are that it will happen. It will pass. I mean, I think everybody's rowing into the task at hand, and the task at hand now is keep the head down, keep yourself to yourself, and look at the vast majority of people across the country are doing that, and if we continue to do it collectively, it will pass. So I am 100% confident it will, and absolutely I am so looking forward to a lot of things. I'm looking forward to the program getting rolled out. I'm looking forward to getting Jigsaw really well positioned to to kind of hit the ground running again, and to be there to offer the supports that know that will be needed. I'm really looking forward to continue to working with you guys in the LGFA and with Ciara and the team in Lidl. I think post-COVID Ireland is going to be a different place, but actually I really think it might actually be a better place. I think what we're doing is we're learning a huge amount about ourselves as individuals, and I think there's a sort of a collective spirit that we're going to beat this thing. Irish people, I think, like a bit of a battle. We've won loads, and I absolutely am confident we're going to beat this one as well. And I think we'll emerge from it possibly, slightly scarred. I mean, we are going to lose some people, we are going to lose some businesses, we're going to lose, we're going to lose a lot, but I think we're going to gain a lot, and I think we'll probably have one hell of a collective sigh of relief, followed by a bit of a celebration, and then probably a kind of a look at ourselves as a country and as a nation, and really look towards the value of communities, the value of sport, really begin the value of retail, and just really begin to kind of reevaluate what it is we're doing and where we're going. And I think we will emerge from this in a couple of weeks and months in a far better place, in a sort of a strange way. It might take a little bit of while for us to lick our wounds, but I'm fully confident it'll pass. And I'm really looking forward to a pint of Guinness in the pub as well, to be honest with you.
You and me both, Mike. We might have one together at some stage.
Not a virtual one, Jackie. Not a virtual one.
They don't work.
Don't work. No.
Ciara, on behalf of the LGFA, I'd like to leave the last word on this one to yourself, as obviously our long-standing partners, National League sponsors and retail partner. Your own message of hope as we navigate our way through these choppy waters.
My own message, well, I suppose the biggest thing that I can't wait for is when this is all over, those things that were things you hated doing and you were always frustrated when you had to go do it. I can't even think of an example now, but even say going to the supermarket or something that might be that you'd be, oh, do I have to go do this now, or I have to go visit so-and-so again, or this kind of thing. And suddenly we're all going to be so grateful to go do those things, even just stepping outside, going, forgetting to buy something, going back to get it. All of that is we're going to appreciate everything so much more. And I can't wait for that to happen. I really can't. We're going to all be so changed, and so a new outlook for all of us.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Guys, it's been great chatting to you. Mike Mansfield from Jigsaw and Ciara Sheehan from Lidl. Great chatting to you guys. Stay safe. And we'll get through this. And that has been the LGFA talk show with a difference this evening, folks. And we look forward to chatting to you again real soon. Take care.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jackie. Bye.